Hi everyone, I'm riding in a submarine here. Now I know you're probably wondering what am I doing underwater? Well, I'm exploring a coral reef. Plus, I'm going to be talking about the movie Finding Nemo. I've seen its sequel, Finding Dory, and it was great. Was the film as good as I thought it would be? Let's find out. You come from a land down under, where men go and men wonder. Can't you hear the thunder? You gotta run, you gotta take cover. First, I'm going to talk about the story. Let's see if I got this right. This is about a clownfish named Marlin who lives in the Great Barrier Reef and sets out to find his son, Nemo, who was captured and taken to Sydney. During his journey, he is assisted by a regal blue tang named Dory who has suffered short-term memory loss. Together, they complicate encounters with many dangers of the ocean. Meanwhile, Nemo is plotting an escape plan with a gang of fish who have been put in a tank in a dentist's office. What do I think about the story? Well, I think it's predictable because Marlin started out as an overprotective father to Nemo due to his son's tiny fin. But during his adventure, he learns to be a better father and everything turned out all right in the end. Like a lot of movies, journeys can teach lessons to the characters. Believe me, it's a good thing Marlin learned to be less protective during his adventure. The quality of the animation. Now I'm going to talk about the animation. Rendering a frame, which lasted about 1/24th of a second in the film, could take up to 4 days because of the complexity of the underwater environment, with sunlight coming through the water and hitting fish scales. To see how realistic they could make it appear, the art team was asked to make exact copies of actual underwater and above water shots. Ultimately, the results were simply deemed too realistic for a cartoon. For the jellyfish sequence, Pixar's Ocean Unit created an entire new system of shading which they called transparency, see-through but not blurred, much like a frosted bathroom window. Pixar developed a very realistic look of the surface water, but had to make it look more fake so people wouldn't think it was real footage of the ocean's surface. Animators studied dogs' facial expressions, paying particular attention to the eyes to animate the expression of the fish. The waving strands on the enemies on the seabed reminds me of Monsters, Inc., because they move about using the same computer program that animated Sully's hair. The coloration of Gil's face simulates the characteristic lines around the mouth of voice actor Willem Dafoe. There are up to 200 turtles in the background of the turtle drive sequence. In the original cut of the movie, the whale that swallows Marlin and Dory approaches them from the front. This version of the scene appeared in an early trailer. The final version, with the whale coming from behind, was inspired by an early animation test showing a whale emerging from the murk of the ocean behind a small fish. The waiting room in the dentist's office was modeled after the waiting room in a real dentist's office in Emeryville, California, where Pixar Animation Studios has its headquarters. The look and feel of the underwater world was essential to the film's success. To that end, the production crew were all exposed to visits to aquariums, diving stints in Monterey and Hawaii, study sessions in front of Pixar's own 25-gallon fish tank, and even a series of in-house lectures from an ichthyologist, which is the branch of zoology that deals with fish. The characters of the movie. I am now down to talking about the characters of the movie. There's Marlin the clownfish who started being overprotective to his son, Nemo, due to his tiny fin. After Nemo was captured and taken to Sydney, he embarks on a quest to rescue him and bring him home. Along the way, he learns to be less protective. He is voiced by Albert Brooks, who also voiced Tiberius the Hawk from The Secret Life of Pets.
Are you sure you want to go to school this year? Because there's no problem if you don't. You can wait 5 or 6 years.
Okay, he's too stupid to talk and too ugly to eat.
Dory is a Ringo Blue Tang who joins Marlin on his journey to Sydney. Due to suffering from short-term memory loss, she remembers something for 10 seconds and then forgets. And there's Nemo, who is Marlin's son. He has a tiny right fin due to a minor injury to his egg from the barracuda attack at the beginning of the film. When he ends up in a fish tank in the dentist's office, he plots an escape plan with the other fish in the tank. Gil is a Moorish idol who is the leader of the tank gang. He's been longing to escape the tank and has made several escape attempts, but his first one landed him on dental tools which gave him severe scars on his right side and damaging his fin. Then there's Nigel the Pelican, who is friends with the tank gang. He helps Marlin and Dory reach Sydney after learning that Marlin is journeying to Sydney to find his son. He is voiced by Geoffrey Rush, who also voiced Izilurib from Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Your dad's been fighting the entire ocean looking for you. What's amusing to me is that you would cover yourself by besmirching these flyers.
Bruce is a great white shark who is friendly to other fish and never eats them. He pledges that fish are friends and not food. However, when he's scented Dory's blood, his mind changes and decides to eat Marlin and Dory. Bruce was the nickname given to the models used for the shark in the 1975 film Jaws. Most of the fish are actual saltwater fish that can be found in the ocean. The word Nemo means nobody or no one in Latin. It is also a reference to Captain Nemo in Jules Verne's novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The fact that Dory suffers from short-term memory loss is a humorous reference to the widespread but mistaken belief that goldfish only have a 3-second memory. This is one of the best movies I've seen in my childhood. Of course, I have good and bad reviews for this film. Demand for tropical fish exploded right after the film's release, especially for clownfish and blue tang, the main character species. And just like Darla, many new pet buyers had no idea how to take care of their pets and ended up killing them. It was later revealed that saltwater tropical fish need a 30-gallon aquarium with carefully controlled salinity levels, as anything less will kill them. The rise in demand took fish importers by surprise, and the population of clownfish dropped by 75% in some areas. Although this isn't the first time something like this happened, Finding Nemo was different because this time the whole premise of the movie was freeing the animal from being a pet. Then again, pet owners who took that promise to heart did not respond much better. Some released their venomous fish into the ocean, ruining Florida's ecological balance. Others flushed fish down the toilet to free them, and these fish died before even reaching the sewers. Work on the movie first began in 1997. Physical production actually began in January 2000 with a crew that ultimately comprised of 180 people. This film had the biggest opening weekend for any animated film upon its first US release, which is May 30th, 2003. It won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature of 2003. It is also the second highest grossing film of 2003. This film claimed the all-time first-day USA record for home release sales with 8 million copies sold, 80% of which were on DVD. This film holds the record for best-selling DVD release of all time, selling over 40 million copies. Ranked number 10 on the American Film Institute's list of the 10 greatest films in the genre animation, June 2008. As of September 2015, Finding Nemo is the best-selling DVD of all time in the world, with 41 million copies sold. Since I like this movie, I'm hoping to get the sequel, Finding Dory, when it comes out on DVD. That's all I have to say. Now, if you'll excuse me, I want to continue exploring in this submarine. I'm JB Eagle, and I'll see you next time.